2.3 liter Bronco, 2.7 liter Bronco. We have the Roush Performance Axleback exhaust and cold air intake today. We'll be fitting it to both of these Broncos, telling you all about the products, as well as installs and sound clips and dyno pulls to see how much power they both gain. Let's check it out. Here we have the Roush Axleback exhaust and cold air intake kit fitting your 2021 plus Ford Bronco with either the 2.3 liter EcoBoost or the 2.7 liter EcoBoost. Kicking things off, the Roush Axleback exhaust. If you're looking for that signature Roush Axleback tone, this is the way to go. It has a straight through muffler design that's gonna give you all the power benefits with a turbo motor and that straight through muffler design, as well as the signature tone that Roush is known for. With this Axleback exhaust, you have the option to run the single black tip that Roush includes, or remove the tip altogether, tuck that muffler away, and actually have a better departure angle and more ground clearance than the factory exhaust. For the Axleback exhaust, Roush includes everything you need for an easy installation, including the clamp and additional hardware and hanger if you have the 2.7 liter EcoBoost in your Bronco. This Axleback features a stainless steel construction, so you know that it will last the test of time, whether it's on-road or off-road. Additionally, as with any Axleback exhaust on the Bronco, you can expect a super easy installation, no sawzall required. You pop off the old clamp, pull the factory exhaust off, then you install the Roush Axleback in its place, again with the optional hideaway or using the black tip included. Moving on to the Bronco cold air intake kit, again this does fit both the 2.3 liter and the 2.7 liter Bronco. The cold air intake kit from Roush does include a filter as well as a pre-filter, so again if you do off-road, you can assure that pre-filter will get those large dirt and debris out of the air before the filter sucks it in, allowing your filter to last just a little bit longer. Another cool thing about the Roush cold air intake kit is that it maintains the water fording capability from the factory. What that means is if you go forward water with the factory intake or the Bronco intake, you'll have the same capabilities across the board. This is very important for an off-road vehicle because if you take that capability away with some of those other aftermarket cold air intake systems, you could end up with water in your motor off-road. Another thing to note is that this intake is not compatible with the Everglades Edition Bronco or any Bronco that has the Ford snorkel kit installed. Additionally, the lid to this intake is see-through, meaning you could check the filter very easily without opening the entire intake system up. And the filter itself does have an additional 30% capacity over the factory filter in your Bronco. This intake is 50 state legal with an EO number, which is awesome because you can run this intake in all 50 states here in the US. Installation is super easy for the Bronco cold air intake kit. We're literally just talking about a filter, a pre-filter, and a lid. Same goes for the Axleback. We're gonna show you how to install both of these products, but first, let's check out a stock dyno pull. Here we have the stock dyno pull. We're doing the pulls on 93 octane in 5th gear. We were unable to get a solid RPM reading on the 2.3 liter, so we are using the vehicle speed on the rollers. That means we won't be able to get a torque number, but again, in 5th gear, you will be able to get a horsepower number, and your factory horsepower number in 5th gear will be 237.91 horsepower. For the 6-cylinder, we were able to get an RPM reading for the 2.7. However, we do need to make, again, the pulls in 5th gear because of the factory speed limiter. The 2.7 Bronco with the Sasquatch package made 255.87 horsepower at 4,500 RPM and 337 pound-feet of torque at 3,500 RPM. Whether you have the 2.3 liter or the 2.7 liter in your Bronco, the intake installation is identical for both engines. However, on the Axleback, the installation is slightly different, so pay attention and follow along. Here are the tools required for the Roush cold air intake install. Grab a panel removal tool to remove the push pin holding the air intake scoop, and just pop it out of place. Next, grab an 8mm socket to remove all 4 bolts holding the lid to the airbox. You can simply remove the factory filter by pulling up on the backside. For our particular application, this is a street-driven Bronco, so we won't be using the pre-filter, but if you do more off-roading, here's how you install the pre-filter on your Roush cold air intake. Now you're ready to install your new Roush filter on your Bronco. Simply set it on top of the inlet first and then press the back side into place so it seats completely around the inlet. You want the large side of the filter facing directly up. Now you're ready to install the included rubber seal around the intake lid. Slowly working around and cut to length. Don't forget the inside portion. Don't forget your Roush plaque. There is an area on the lid to install the Roush plaque. Simply peel the plastic film off to reveal the double-sided tape and press it into place. Make sure the filter is oriented directly up. Place the lid on top and get your bolt started. Tighten it down. Then you can snap your air intake scoop back into place and put the push pin back in. Here are the tools required for the Roush axleback installation. You can perform the installation just laying on the ground at home, but we lifted it up to get better access for video. Grab some soapy water and spray it in the isolator for each hanger, both the driver and passenger side. Grab a 15mm deep socket and loosen the clamp. Grab a pry bar and begin to pry the muffler out of the hanger, driver's side first. Then do the same thing for the passenger side. Pull your factory exhaust off and set it aside. And now you're ready to remove the rear bumper. First, pull out the alignment bolt on the left-hand side. Then begin loosening the two bumper mounting bolts, but don't let it completely out. On either side of the bumper, you'll need to reach up and disconnect the parking sensors. On the other side, you want to remove the other alignment bolt and then loosen the two bumper mounting bolts. Once you have all 6 bolts removed, grab a friend because the bumper is rather cumbersome and carefully slide it off the rear of your vehicle. The reason why we have to take the bumper off is because this hanger has bolts with welded nuts on the back side of the hanger, so you need to get access to those bolts within the factory steel bumper. We pulled the bolts all the way out, but you actually just need to loosen them and slide them through the larger hole to pull the whole hanger out. For the 2.3 liter installation, you actually flip the factory hanger 180 degrees and reinstall it in the same location. Now, if you have a 2.7 liter, you'll have to use the included Roush hanger to install in the same location as the factory hanger. The reason why Roush includes these hangers is because it relocates the factory hanger location further up, giving you additional ground clearance and a higher departure angle. Roush includes both a spacer and a hanger. You want to sandwich that between the steel bumper and your hanger. Get the bolt started and you can slide it up into place in the factory location. Tighten it down. And now you're ready to put the bumper back into place. Slides right back in. Make sure the tow hook is oriented outwards, unlike ours, which will be fixed momentarily. Get your alignment bolts back into place. Plug your parking sensors back in. Now you're ready to tighten everything down. Tighten the bumper mounting bolts first and then the alignment bolts. And now you're ready to hang your new Roush axleback exhaust. Spray the hangers with some soapy water. Slide the exhaust in the driver's side hanger first, and then into the factory exhaust. And next, the passenger hanger. If you wish to run the Roush tip, this is when you would install it. Install the clamp on the Roush tip with the nut facing downward so it's easy to tighten, and slide it onto the exhaust. You have a little bit of freedom on how far in or far out. You can install to taste and tighten it down. And then go ahead and tighten down your factory clamp. And your installation's complete. Okay, breaking it down, the 2.3 liter Bronco with the Roush Performance cold air intake and axle back kit installed not only sounds good, but it picked up 7 horsepower. Again, we weren't able to get a solid RPM reading on the 2.3 liter, meaning we couldn't get torque. However, 7 horsepower is a great gain for the 2.3 liter. Now moving on to the 2.7 liter EcoBoost in the Sasquatch package Bronco, we saw a 3 horsepower gain and 3 pound-feet of torque. We were able to get that RPM signal off of this 6-cylinder EcoBoost. Now the gains weren't quite as much as the 2.3 liter, honestly, because this engine already has quite a bit more power output than the 2.3 liter does. You remove the restriction of that giant muffler in the rear on the 4-cylinder Bronco, it's gonna love that additional flow and obviously reward you with that 7 horsepower gain. Not quite as much on the 2.7 liter, so if you're looking for a sizable power gain on the 2.7 liter Bronco, we highly recommend picking up a calibration to go along with these parts. but then again, you do get the cool induction noise with their cold air intake, as well as the Roush axleback, making an awesome tone on the 6-cylinder Bronco. Comment below and let us know which Bronco you have, the 2.3 or the 2.7, and what other parts you want to see installed on these Broncos. Hit us up right here at Steeda.com for all of your Bronco part and accessory needs. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and don't forget the most important thing, speed matters.